Hey there, everyone. It's your girl Sharon, the self-care queen, the self-carepreneur, the self-care, all things self-care, right? And remember, when it comes to self-care, it's all about how you are taking care of yourself. What are you doing so that you can be the most wonderful person with perseverance and to be empowered as well. And so I am live here on Facebook and my other things, and I'm not sure how I am on Facebook. It's seems like it's doing something a little weird. Let me see if I can see myself here. Um, just bear with me here. Yeah, it's showing up. It's just there's something going on with the camera. I'm not sure. But what a day, what a day, what a week, what a week. But one thing that I will tell you is that no matter what, whatever your vision is, whatever your goal is, whatever your ministry in that everything that you experience is something that you probably need so that you can continue on your journey. Because remember, I always like to say this. How, I say this. Sometimes we don't like the challenges, but the challenges are needed because they really help pick ourselves apart. Because there are some things that when I say I can't do by myself, I may not even think about, I may not even think that I may need. It's not even just a skill, but it could be a characteristic that I may not be strong in. I may need to be able to, stand up and say certain things and do certain things, or even just to keep on moving. Now, for any of you who are in the entrepreneurship world, business world, leadership world, you know it is not an easy task. We need to stop like pretending like that it is. It's not for everybody. I tell you. And one of the things in which I would say that I had the hardest time in is like my organization, my discipline. I don't think I have a problem with perseverance because I'm going to keep going. But I hear, the experts say so much, move at the speed of light, move. And it's kind of like, ah. So, in saying that, I'm here to tell you time waits for no one. I probably should have named it that more so they get up and go and empower and perseverance because of the fact when like life is going to be lifing, but sometimes if you would have already moved in a certain area or have already taken care of certain things, then when things come up, you would know how to do it. Now, that can be two part because some things are just brand new. You're just not going to know. You're not going to know it until that time comes. So, in saying that, in the experiences that you're having, like I say, for instance, when it comes to business, like what I say, when it comes to my business, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's taking a little bit too longer than I expected. That is true. That's because I needed to set a foundation. And it's not just, it is in the doing. I do want to say that it is in the doing, but it's more so, it's the doing and it's the things, it's like the beliefs that the limited beliefs that I didn't even know that I had when it comes to money, when it comes to just things, and you don't know what you don't know. So, in saying all of that, especially as female entrepreneurs, and for those of you who are mothers, who are wives, I can't even imagine what you're going through because I just have me. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it for me, and I say I'm doing it for me and my family, but more so as a legacy than anything else. And so, in saying that, it's like sometimes when there's any type of comfort, it can cause complacent. Sometimes when you think you have so much time that it can literally make you not hit your goals, make you not be where you need to be until you are pushed. So there's different things that are pushing. I kind of always feel like for people who have families, they have that external push and then it becomes in. And for the rest of us, some people are just ambitious. And like for me, it's kind of like I need a combination of things. But in saying that, no matter where you are, there will be, whether you're in the beginning, the middle, or you've been doing this for a while, in which there will be a time where it's kind of like, it's not just the motivation, it's not just the motivation itself, because you're going to need more than motivation, because when it comes to the motivation, you need to move. So what do you need in order to move? What do you need in order to move forward? And there are going to be times in which, you may step back a little bit. Sometimes you need that. But even when you step back, remember that foundation, which is you, what goes on the inside of you, and also that foundation when it comes to your business. What are you putting in place so you can be organized? What are you putting in place so that your business can run? Because let me tell you, everybody is different. Everyone is different when it comes to their makeup, when it comes to what you need. Everyone is different. But one thing I can say is I really need structure. I really need organization. So here I am out here in this entrepreneurship world, even though I've had some coaching, but every coaching program is different. And they gave me what I need in building the foundation, but I needed something else. And there are others in which it can have everything that you need. But one thing I can tell you when it says that, with whatever that you need, if you're not getting it, then you're not going to move forward. It's probably going to feel like, oh, I need more of this. I may need more of that. What you need sometimes is to at least be still enough so that you can pour into you, or have others to help you pour into you, but in a different way, not just in you learning like a concept. It's more of you learning more about you. Because one thing that some people I've heard it, but I don't hear it enough. When it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to being a leader, when it comes to being a business owner, to really be the best, is for you to pour in yourself, for you to learn about yourself. And so, for instance, I've been, doing yoga and meditation and all of that for the past few years. And I've taken all kind of training. And even once I've got into entrepreneurship, different types of coaching. And sometimes you're not going to know until you're in certain environments of what it is that you're doing. But the main key is it's not that you're just learning a skill, you're learning you. That's how you become great. You learn you. And what I have discovered and what I see as well, sometimes you can be in different environments. You may take what you need, but you still don't have you. And so there's a period of time where you just need to focus on you. But you know what? Because now, this is a transparent moment for me. And it took me a while to pretty much get it. How much I love, oh yeah, Sharon, you're doing a good job. Oh, this and that and the other. And I don't have problem with feedback, but that's what we need. But sometimes we need someone to say, girl, what you doing over there? You need to move much further along with the organization and the structure, because I have to have that, because now I pretty much understand. So in saying that, in saying of what you need, meaning constantly learning. It doesn't matter how much of an expert that you are. Continue to learn and come back. Continue to learn and come back. Again, not too much learning where you're not implementing and taking things in, because again, that's what self-care is all about. And self-care not having self-care can play with your pocketbook, meaning that you're not implementing and doing the things that you need. And so, in saying that, the biggest thing that I learned, and this was even before I started, the entrepreneurship, is when it comes to doing things in community, when it comes to learning. You've heard me say it before, it's pretty much in listening to podcasts and reading and watching YouTube and in having conversations. That is how we learn, about ourselves. And then, it's like we need the sacred solo place, but we also need the social sacred places as well, because that is how we can see our blind spots. I have learned so much about myself when I started listening to podcasts. I'm listening to podcasts like, ooh, who they talking about? It's almost like being in, the church service. It's like, ooh, is the preacher talking about me? And they know what's going on there, And so when you're in, workshops and master classes and communities, this is how you can learn about yourself. It can just be one thing. Another time when I learned something about myself, or just in learning, that people may think the same way about a certain topic, is when I went to a yoga retreat. And I'm like, oh, wow. And, especially when it came to a Black yoga retreat, I'm like, oh, this is what is missing. And if anything that I suggest to people is, yes, diversity is great, but also in being in a community where it is cultural minded. I'll put it like that, where it's cultural minded. We need both of them in order to truly grow. We need both, because you need to be in the space. Like men need their own space, women need their own space, then come together. And so different cultures need their own space and then come together. And so and so and so. In saying all of that, when it comes to getting up and go, having perseverance, being empowered, is that sometimes, our engine may need to be repaired and we don't even know it. Sometimes you may need to add something and you don't even know that you need to do that. And so in saying that, let me know if you want to learn more about a 30-day journey. And this is one unlike any other. Hey, you're going to love this. It is Revive, Radiant, and Revitalize. Revive, Radiant, and Revitalize. It's a 30-day empowerment journey for entrepreneurs, business individuals, and leaders, because if anything, we need it the most, because there's so much pressure, there's so much on you that you need to feel in yourself. And then not only that, not only you need to pour into yourself, but then also there are times that we just need to get up and go. And that's one, if anything, that's one thing that I've learned or am learning about myself, because, I'm one that's taking my time and I'm doing this. And like right now, I tell you, everything is coming together. And it depends on how you look at that. I'll put it like this. Things are coming together so that I can get up and go, so I can move, meaning like have that fire, because that's what it takes. Because by taking your time in business, sometimes you can miss opportunities. Sometimes you're not learning the things that you really need to learn, because when it comes to true business, there are decisions that need to be made like that. There are places that you may need to go. There are things that need to be done, and there are challenges, and so with this 30-day empowerment journey, it started on February the 5th. You will have an entire month of daily motivation, inspiration, as well as, hey, what you doing, sis? Then there will be 4 coaching opportunities, There would be 2 for individual and 2 group, and so that would be every other week. Let me know. Put in empowerment in the comment, and I will send you more information because, again, being in community, and sometimes you're like, oh, you may feel stagnated. Like, this is for you if you feel stagnated. This is for you if you feel like, hey, I'm just overwhelmed with stress. This is for you if you're like, I'm just not so sure, or you just need us like, hey, I do have fire. You just really just want to be able to expand yourself. It's like, hey, let's get this. Because the thing is, yes, of course, it's going to be filled with mindfulness, but it's also, this is one of those things, it's like to really challenge you. It's kind of like, hey, we need to do 100, push-ups or sit-ups. Hey, we need to really take ourselves to the edge to be able to do that, because of the fact this is what greatness do. They do not just sit there. They challenge themselves. And so this is what the 30-day empowerment journey is all about, for you to revive yourself, for you to be radiant and to revitalize. Again, it is about, oh, this feels so good to be able to meditate. But then it is also for you to be able to say, hey, how we're going to take care of business. Hey, how do I deal with disappointment when it comes to my personal life so that it will not impact my business? How do I deal with, this deal didn't go through that I was waiting for, but, there's something else that I need to do. How do you deal with those negative things that come in? And then how do you really live in joy because of all of the things that is happening or that is yet to happen? Because some of us may not be there yet, but this is a community, so you can say, let me get up and go, because I'm not sitting on the seat anymore. I need someone to say, hey, why didn't you do that? Maybe not why, but you get what I'm saying. It's about saying the things that need to be said, but your friends and your family may not say it to you. Sometimes, even when it comes to business, sometimes people in business, it's not always straight up, because we all have blind spots. We all have room to grow. So this is what it is. It's like, if anything, I like to be in places where I can grow, not just in learning a skill. I need that too. But like I said, they definitely got to have some organization. I got to have some structural organization. So I am developing that as well, and definitely in listening to the coaches, and with the previous coaches that I've had, love them to death because they poured in, even the personal coaches that I have, and even the ones I may not even pay for that I have, but they poured into me, and I needed every single piece of it. And I want to give you all some of this as well, along with other things that I've learned along the way of this journey. Because if anything, sometimes some people say, oh, well, that's too much to be able to do this. Let me tell you, there are some decisions that you may need to make on a spot. So you need to be in a place where you can have clarity, where you can see, and you're able to use discernment, and you don't feel like, oh, I don't know what's going on, where you won't have that feeling. This is what it's all about. So if there is a certain task, a certain goal or something, and you're either been putting it off or just haven't really faced it, this is the place where you can address that, because sometimes it needs just someone to help you, not just put the fire under, because we can like light the fire, but sometimes we don't stay there. And you need, and being in an environment where you can stay in the fire and know that you're going to be okay, and know, it's almost like, in which I've never, of course, been, but, just think about the Marines. It's like they pretty much weed people out. Entrepreneurship is like that too. It's kind of like, are you going to quit because things aren't happening? Are you going to stay in? But at the same time, you just cannot stay in just at a certain pace. There is up and down in the journey itself, but also you come with the fire, and not just in the fire of the mind, but the fire in the heart and your soul, but also where you actually moving. And when I say that, I'm talking to myself, because I really like for things to be easy, but entrepreneurship isn't like that. And that's what I love about it, is that it is pushing me out of comfort zone. It is doing exactly what it needs to do. So, again, comment empowerment so you can get the information so you can sign up. And also, regarding that, it's starting on February the 5th, and there are only 5 slots because I want to make sure that you get the attention that you need when it comes to this as well, because this is an intimate thing. And you know um, well, I say that for later, but it's for when you are challenged. You'll be a better leader. When you are challenged, you succeed things in life. And so this is an opportunity for you to challenge your mind, your body, your heart, your spirit, and even your soul, so that so you can make the legacy that you're trying to make. So no more stagnation. Move, move, move. And with Sherry Summers, she say, that is so true. Thank you for that comment, Sherry. And again, for everyone, for the 30-day empowerment, in the comment empowerment, and I will send you additional information so that we can see if you qualify. Because again, this is for individuals who are serious about not being stuck anymore, and you want to move to the next level, or you just want to challenge yourself. You're like, hey, I already have all of these qualities and characteristics, but I just want to challenge myself. Talk to you soon.